It's Josh,
What's up, guys? It's Ted.
and this is Nerds Make Sense. And today we're bringing you a very special episode. Normally we only release one episode a weekend, but this time you're gonna get an extra episode this weekend because we need to talk about the Broly movie, Dragon Ball Super Broly. We just went to see it. Well, it's been over a week for us now. But and because of other things that we've had going on recently, we haven't managed to get back to recording until today. But we wanted to bring that to you as soon as possible and get it out to you as soon as possible, so that way it's still relevant, especially now that the movie's unfortunately no longer in theaters. So one big thing before we go any further: major spoilers are coming, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to hear about it, you don't want to have anything big ruined, although I don't know what really can be ruined at this point.
Spoiler: Broly's in the movie. I'm sorry.
But if you want to wait until you see the movie, then please stop the video now, and then come back to this in a couple months after you've seen the movie. But we really do want you to hear this video, so if you don't mind getting spoiled, then here we go. So much to say about this. It's really hard to put into words because the movie just blew my mind. It was far better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, especially for me, since I'll tell you, I'm a real with anime movies is actual movies are kind of different, I guess. But with anime, I read the spoilers, and I told Josh, when I read spoilers for anime, we all know what the destination is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. But it's the trip to it. So I already knew what was going to happen in the movie, but just watching it and seeing it for myself is the amazing part. Yeah. I don't care what I knew. It was all still oh my God, yes, go, that's fresh. The whole time I was So it doesn't matter. But
seeing it, hearing about it and then seeing it is totally different.
And I respect people for not wanting spoilers. And I didn't tell you spoilers.
Yeah.
I asked you.
And I appreciated that.
And I was like, "Do you want to know about something?" He was like, "No." I was like, "All right."
Yeah, I wanted to wait and see.
Well, I know. Can't wait.
The movie was beyond my imagination. I had no doubt going into it that it was going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said, it totally blew my expectations out of the water. And I'm so glad to see that they've left the door open for Broly to come back. He's not just I know he technically had 3 movies previously.
Right, we count 2. We count 2.
We don't necessarily count Bio Broly.
Bio Broly don't count. That wasn't him.
When everybody saw the first Broly movie, back in, the late 90s?
Fuck, I don't
even know. And we saw Goku beat Broly, we thought that was it. Mm-hmm. This time, we absolutely know for sure this is not it. We know he's going to be coming back at some point because there's no way they're just going to leave him out now after all that. Mm-hmm. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. How do we want to start this? We want to just do a general overview of the movie and then go from there?
This is start from beginning to end.
Okay. The beginning, it starts off incredible. You got the Frieza Force, the Cold Force.
The Cold Force.
The Cold Force at the time. Flying through the upper atmosphere of planet Vegeta and landing and
not landing, not giving a fuck. They
so many buildings. They took out several buildings all the way.
Man, that man, what did he yell? He yelled, "Watch out!" Like he was really gonna do something. If they turned around, you would have been dead. I don't know why he yelling at people.
Well, he probably didn't know that it was King Cold and Frieza in there.
Man, he had the goons around. He had everything, bro. If I didn't know Cold and I seen that, I was like, "Oh, that's him."
And then the Armada lands, and you see Dodoria, you see Zarbon, you see the Ginyu Force.
You know what? I seen seen another video where they did like Easter eggs for it. At that scene in the way back, you can't see it unless you zoom in, but it's one of the brothers from that that little what's it called special thing. Son Goku and friends are back when Goten and Trunks when Tarbo first appeared.
Okay.
You know those villains that came in?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of them were in the background of that.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool. No one cares about him, but he's here. I was like, so cool. I was like, I didn't even notice that.
But yeah, so and then of course you get to see King Cold. You get to see a young Frieza.
Young Frieza, crazy as ever.
But, you know, and is like even sounds young. Mm-hmm. So you know, and it was wonderful having Chris Ayres back as the voice of Frieza. Yeah, I know he had to take time off due to his COPD. Mm-hmm. And of course, Frieza was voiced by a different voice actor for the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, he does a good job, but it's still not the same.
Right.
It's still not.
I mean, obviously, Christopher Ayres is not the one who originally did it back in Z, but I think he does it far better.
I never liked Frieza back in Z. I was a huge Cell fan because of how he talked and everything. Then Chris Ayres came and did the voice. I'm like, dude, Frieza's so cooler now. No pun intended. I was like, dude, just the way he laughs and dude, I watched the Battle of the Resurrection F when they do the voice actors where it's in the booth. I watch that daily. Yeah. And watching Chris Ayres do like when Goku punched him, that was so cool. Like he's so good, dude.
Yeah, he is.
I'm so glad he was back for this movie.
Yeah, definitely. That was a big boost to have him back. Obviously, you know, you had Sean Schemmel back as Goku. I mean, at this point, anybody other than Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat voicing Goku and Vegeta,
I might stop watching.
In the English dub is just like, I'm sorry.
I'll strictly be subbed only if that happens.
Obviously, we know that it can't last forever. Mm-hmm. If Dragon Ball continues, at some point there's going to be a change in voice actors. Just like Masuka Nozawa for the Japanese version, she's not going to last forever. I mean, she's already 70 some odd years old.
Yeah, she's a trooper.
I mean, it's awesome that she's still doing it. Not to mention, she does, in the Japanese version, not only does she do the voice of Goku, but she does the voice of Goten, Gohan. She does the voice of Bardock.
Gotenks, you can count that.
Yeah. Well, half of the voice of Gotenks. Yeah. Half of the voice of Vegeta and Gogeta. But anyways, getting back to the movie. So you have King Cold and Frieza walking down, and they're talking to the Saiyans, and King Cold is announcing that from this point on, Frieza is essentially taking command of the military, and they'll now be known as the Frieza Force. So that's how we know that we get the name.
I mean, even before that, when King Vegeta came down, he tried to shake hands with King Cold. King Cold just looked at him like, didn't even shake his hand.
How did you like the way they changed up the look of King Vegeta? He looked
like it.
It wasn't so clean cut anymore. He looked a little more rugged. He looked a little more.
I feel like it fit better. I loved it. I liked it.
I definitely think it fits the personality type of the Saiyans more.
I like how they redid like King Cold too. I sort of like it better. I mean, it's not really.
It was
much
the same
of a
voice actor, wasn't it?
Though? Oh yeah, actually, I don't remember. I gotta look that up.
He sounded similar.
Yeah, but
I mean, mind you, he was only in a total of 2 episodes in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, one of them was. I don't know if I can match that with actual voice, but yeah, I like how they did how they redid King Cold. Like I like how they made him purple, like hinting towards cooler if it ever does happen. You know?
I think they were probably leaving the door open.
Yeah, at this point, like they're like, hey, you know
who
what?
knows? Maybe they listen to our channel.
Yeah, and then Frieza actually the way Frieza is how he was drawn originally in the manga, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how sadistic I was gonna say Cell, but like Frieza is. Like, you know, even King Cold's like,
right from the start.
King Cold's like, if you thought I was crazy, this fucker's insane. And he was like, oh yeah, we got these new scouters, guys, everywhere. Hey, I'm new. New scouters for everyone. Let me show you how you look.
He just fucking takes out all the snipers.
Yeah, he puts his town. He's like, oh, you got some snipers here? Oh, not just snipers. That guy has a power level 2000. Bang. And then that guy, I don't even know who you are. Bang. You, just because you here. Bang. He was like, all right, guys. Let's get to it. Yeah, that was pretty scary. It was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, so from there, I think it jumped to
the whole Broly Like
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You had the whole thing about the power levels and shit.
actually, really before that, I thought it was really cool because they painted the Saiyans, like, you know, in the Bardock special and like in any tellings of the Saiyans, they painted the Saiyans like this savage group. Like all they did was fight. You know, I mean, obviously they do, but when they show you like while walking through town and stuff, you have like police officer people, you have people running the ships.
Yeah.
There's people who can't even. There's even a guy who mentions that, oh, we can't even fight. We're not even military. So some Saiyans can't even shoot ki blasts where they have the guns. And I was like, it's pretty it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, but then they get to the Broly part before the Broly part where King Vegeta's looking at Vegeta, the fourth.
Yeah, that was interesting to find out that he's the fourth.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, the fourth? That's pretty cool. Yeah, and then he was like, my son, he's better than all the rest. What is this peasant doing here within the circle of my son? Like, oh, that's... did they say his name?
Broly, my lord.
Yeah, that's Broly. He has a power level or something. Like, and then they checked him and it blew up. And then they checked him and was like, oh, he's regular, I guess. And it fluctuated because you can't get... King Vegeta was banging on it.
But King Vegeta was not taking any chances. He bandaged his ass real quick.
Get that out of here.
And, okay, so overall, though, with the beginning, the whole... basically using Dragon Ball Minus... they really didn't retcon a whole lot from the Bardock special or the beginning of Broly.
Yeah, they did.
If you think about it,
a lot of people are mad of it, but I really don't.
It really didn't change that much.
I feel like it did better. I mean, I really didn't read Minus, but I heard about it, and like
I feel like because it was all there together in one, it kept it more consistent.
I feel like people really missed about Bardock is just how the crew was. I feel that's all they missed, really. I don't think, because I think if they didn't have the crew in the original Bardock special, I don't think people would have really cared if they really did this in the Broly movie.
Yeah,
because that was the whole thing. The one thing I did miss about the retcon about the Bardock thing, but they sort of showed it in the Broly movie. I don't know if I'm jumping too ahead. Is the fight between Frieza and, well, if you call it a fight, Bardock.
I don't really think you can call it too much of a fight.
Yeah.
Because yes, he fought some of Frieza's soldiers and killed them, but
he tried to fight back. Yeah.
And then he launched that one last energy wave that got absorbed by Frieza's death ball.
Yeah, and then just blew him up.
And of course, you don't see that in this one, but I mean, you see. One of the things you even pointed out was that you see.
Before Frieza launched the death ball,
you still see his troops.
Yeah, you see. I don't know if it's true. You see people there in the atmosphere. So
they may need to go in and explain that at some point.
Then it shows Bardock, and he's like, ah, and he tries to stop it, and then it shows him dying like it originally does.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good. I love how they kept this, like, basically, it was basically the same death.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, death ball, death. But, the way he died, how it started blowing off his clothes, and, and it zooms in on his face, and it shows his face, and it, like, it does that little filter effect, like, I'm dead. But I wish they would go back and show, because after the movie, I was like, man, I think I told you, it would have been so cool if it was King Vegeta and Bardock fighting out Frieza's troops and then trying to like stop Frieza's death ball, and then Bardock's like, Vegeta, watch your back, and he's like, don't tell me what to do, I am your king, and then it's like banner, like you see Goku. Exactly. That would have been fresh, and then they both died together. But I guess a missed opportunity, or they just didn't want to do that. Maybe it wasn't like that.
I mean, you've only got so much time in an anime movie, and
because
nobody really wants to sit down and watch a 2.5-hour anime movie.
Yeah, I would. I mean,
some of us would, but I mean, there's just only so much you can do with that.
Yeah. Do we miss anything else about the Minus part? I think that basically sums up.
I think we covered.
They sent Broly's kid away because
instead of trying to kill him this time, they banished him to a planet, and then his father Paragus, whatever you want to pronounce it,
he was like
went after him.
He was pretty smart too, because he was like, that planet has no value, so why are you sending my son there? And Vegeta's like, yeah.
He couldn't really come up with a good answer.
Fuck your son, dude. My son's better. So he chased out. He took ship, chased it, and then that's the story right there for them. And then it's like Frieza comes back, calls all the people back, and he's like, Bardock's like, why are we coming back for? Why does he need all of us? It seems fishy. And I liked it. I liked it like that because in the other movie, like it wasn't more like him grasping air, like like paranoid. He's like, he's gonna kill us. He was like, something's up. Like I know something's going down.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that I actually liked about the whole doing the minus instead of the Bardock special is I never really cared for the whole seeing the future thing.
Yeah, I could see the future. Yeah,
I love Deep Four Star.
Yeah, I didn't really miss that either. I mean, as a kid, it was cool because he's like, he's seen it.
Yeah,
like he knows, but
it was just like it was.
But
this time too convoluted.
Yeah, but this time he was knowledge. He was like, yeah, because he's seen shit. Like he was out there. He knows when something's fishy. They don't really talk about what he's done, like they did in the Bardock special. But you can tell just by looking at him, he's been through shit. Like they didn't take that away from him.
You don't get that scar in your face like that for nothing.
Yeah, and then his little co-pilot was like, "Oh no, man, maybe what did he say? Maybe he needs all the Saiyans to take over one planet or something like that."
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really remember that part.
Yeah, I didn't care. I was like, Bardock. but I think that's what it was. And then,
I actually like they showed Bardock. He wasn't just the cruel Saiyan that he was in the first movie.
Yeah, he looked like he was the guy of the town. Like I feel like because when he was walking down the street, like it was like, "Hey, Bardock." He was like, "Yeah, hey."
Well, no, he
said hi. Yeah.
He actually seemed affectionate towards his wife too.
Yeah,
and he seemed to care about his sons.
Mm-hmm.
Which you get to see that a little bit in the Bardock special because he's worried about Goku making it off the planet
at the end of that one. Yeah, and then the beginning of it.
It was more about just continuing the Saiyan line. It wasn't really about his safety.
Pump him out and get him out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot crueler in the Bardock special from years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but he was he was more. I don't know. I guess they humanized him in this one.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it. And then Gene, however you want to say it.
I think it's pronounced Gine.
Gine. I love it. Yeah, and then they made all the women don't all the women just the meat, the butchers, the cooks, I guess.
I don't think all the women.
Yeah,
were.
Gine was.
She was, but that's because she has like a really low power level.
Yeah, and then Bardock told her something's up. Like we gotta. Oh, you want to see Goku? Oh, let's go. You want to see Kakarot? And he was in the in the tube. What I want to know is that scene where it showed all the babies in that thing. Were those all with Broly? Were all those just like people with good power levels, and then the ones who sucked they live at home? Like how did they get? That's one thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That was never really explained except for the inner circle.
She was like, "Have you seen Kakarot?" And she just pulled a blanket off the fucking pot. He was in the kitchen. And I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess if they suck, they live at home."
And here's the thing too. It actually looked like Vegeta might have been older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in his pod.
Yeah, they're all this around the same age, but they're probably months apart. I think they said it was. It's not completely, on par. They're just a length apart, I guess. But they're still around. All three of them are around the same age. Broly, Vegeta.
Whereas originally it was what were they predicted to be like?
Vegeta was
Broly and Goku were supposed to be the same age.
Yeah.
And then Vegeta was supposed to be 2 or 3 years older than him.
Yeah. So that was changed, but I sort of like the change a little bit because it's not that different.
Yeah.
And then so Bardock told Gine that something was up. We need to get our son out of here. So they kidnap him. He steals a pod, puts him in there. And Gina's like
launches him off.
Yeah. And Gina, what I liked the most is Gina's like, why do you? It's not. It's not usual that I don't know. She said fathers or Saiyans in general don't really it's weird for them to worry about their children, And he was like, I just want it. He was like, what do you? Oh man, fuck! I wish it was a good fucking line he said, along the lines of saying oh fuck, now I drew a blank. But he was just I forgot. Do you remember what he said? He said it was a cool line. Basically, I care about my son. I've seen things, or he's been through hell, or he basically saying that he's seen shit and he's been through shit and he just wants something to go right for a change. That's me quoting it, but it's a better line. Watch the fucking movie if you haven't seen it. Or we'll put a clip in. I don't know. But that's basically what he said, and I like that because in the Saiyans are like, oh, Saiyans are ruthless. They just go out, fight, kill, eat, But then Bardock is like, dude, I did so much. I just want my kid to be away from all of this. And he was like, you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll go get him.
Yeah.
It's just fucking. But unfortunately, he was right.
Yeah, Frieza destroyed the planet just like we knew he did. And I mean, there was no getting around that one.
Yeah, and and then for the people watching, correct me if I'm wrong. I told Josh about it, but I don't think Josh seen it. Right before Frieza blew up the planet, that little fucking I don't even know his name. The yellow guy was telling Frieza, his little henchman was telling Frieza. He was like, oh, yeah, the legendary Super Saiyan, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you already know the Super Saiyan God. I swear he said Super Saiyan God. And like I told Josh.
I don't remember that.
And I told Josh, so if that's the case, did everybody know about the legendary Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God? And when Frieza blew up the planet, it just stopped? Or was it like common knowledge? Like, is it like a history book kind of thing? Like, oh, yeah, these Saiyans, joined together, fought the evil Saiyan.
Super Saiyan was a legend at that point.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
It was just like a history thing, and then because no
I
one
doubt
else...
anybody outside of it knew more than what the Saiyans did, and the Saiyans didn't know shit.
Yeah, and then if the story of the Super Saiyan God is that 5 Saiyans put their energy in one to fight the evil Saiyans, right?
Yeah.
But eventually failed, right? That's how it
well,
goes.
they were winning, but he eventually ran out of power, and then of course.
So like, if that's the case, are these evil Saiyans like King Vegeta, and would King Vegeta keep that away from common knowledge?
Maybe it's possible.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty sure that's where his ruling line comes from.
Yeah, and King Vegeta had to let fucking Frieza know. Like,
it didn't say they were evil Saiyans. It said they were cruel.
I swear it said evil Saiyans.
I don't remember evil. I remember cruel.
Yeah, because they mentioned Super Saiyan God somewhere around that, and at first I was like, oh yeah, because Beerus told him. I was like, wait a minute. Bears didn't even know about Super Saiyan God when he woke up. I was like, oh, so they just fucking knew. Fucking knew.
I don't know about the Super Saiyan God thing.
And it makes sense if they did know, because like that's like not around the time, but they would know about it because they would have heard about it.
Well, my whole thing is too, and I realize you can chalk this up to retconning and stuff. Why wouldn't Frieza have been? Why would he have been so surprised when Goku did his transformation in Resurrection F?
Well, yeah, because in that point, it's just like Super Saiyan. Like even Vegeta kept preaching, "Oh, I'm a Super Saiyan." Frieza's like, "Oh, shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
And then when Goku did it, he was like, "Oh, fuck." But then it's the same thing. Like he didn't see it. I'm saying like everyone who talked about it didn't see it. They heard about it. Like, oh, these guys get the energy, and he became the Super Saiyan God. Like Super Saiyan already the legendary, but like a god. And then like he failed because power ran out, and eventually things happened, and then they're like, but people still talk about it. But Frieza's like, oh, so we have a legendary Super Saiyan and a Super Saiyan God.
And what's with the half-hour time limits on everything?
Yeah, I know, like fuck. But yeah, so Frieza blew up the planet, and then they did this cool thing where it's like a little fast forward through time, and it's like a film thing, and it shows Goku as a kid fighting King Piccolo, Vegeta fighting, and then shows them fighting in present day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. And then Goku and Vegeta were fighting, and then they eventually stopped. And Whis was like, Goku, why do you want to get more stronger? And Goku's like, because. Yeah, and then he was like, well, he didn't say that, but he was like, oh, I just want to get stronger. He was like, Tournament Power had these people, and you see like a little glimpse of them. Then they had this guy Jiren, and it showed Jiren's face way too close for comfort. He was like right in the fucking screen. And then they asked Vegeta, and then what did Vegeta say? Oh no, I know what Vegeta said. I'll be on Vegeta's team for this one. He was like, I gotta get stronger because this dumbass brought Frieza back, and he's already getting stronger. He was like, so I gotta be stronger than Frieza. And Goku's like, oh, dude, like it's gonna be okay. He's like, no, did you see him? Like he can get stronger. And then I like how they hinted that Frieza can get even a new form, like you said. Yeah. He was like, he can become any other form. Like, what do you mean? Goku's like, all right, dude, I'm sorry. I did it for the universe. Yeah, he's like, when are you gonna stop calling me dumbass? When I want to, dumbass. I was like, man, Chris had fun with that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And I found out I found out that he was the director of the movie. I watched those little Q&As on Funimation.
Yeah.
And he said he was the director of it. So when I
Really?
told you that he was directing that guy, it's because that was his job. So I thought he was just doing it for fun, but yeah, he's the director of it. So he had to get to have his little fun. And then, then you can talk about the next part after that part.
Yeah. Well, it jumped over to modern day Frieza, right? Didn't it?
Not that it was about the Dragon Balls and then modern day Frieza.
Well, yeah, you had Bulma talking about collecting all the Dragon Balls, and then you find out that the 6 she already had have been stolen.
Yeah.
By a couple of weaklings from the Frieza Force. And then, everybody's rushing. But I think before that, even before we see Goku, Vegeta, and Bulma on vacation, we get modern day Frieza, and we see that, he's trying to basically restore order to the Frieza Force and restore them to power and regain control of everything that he's lost over the years since he's been gone. And of course you see the group, the teams that are out looking for better fighters. And I don't know, do they come across Broly that early?
I feel like it was the whole vacation scene, like I said, and then right after they said the Dragon Balls were stolen. I feel like Bulma talked about the wish she wanted, which was to be 5 years younger, and then after that, it went over to modern day Frieza, and then they told him his wish. When he said he wanted his wish.
That's right.
Which was to get what?
But I think we already had seen Frieza before that because he was talking about other things too.
I don't think so because it started with them fighting. Yeah.
Okay. Probably.
Because remember it showed like the old fight between him and the first fight between him and Vegeta.
Yeah.
And then it zoomed out and it was actually present day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when you see modern. Then they had like you said, they had people. Well, they had Chile, and I don't know the other guy's name. I have to look it up.
I don't remember his name either.
You go ahead and tell them what happened next.
But so they receive a distress signal from.
Oh fuck! We just missed the whole part.
Did we?
Fucking forgot.
What did we miss?
When Paragus went to go find fucking Broly.
Oh well, I already said that he took a ship to go find him after he'd been banished.
Yeah, and they found and then
they found him on the planet.
And then they couldn't. What was it? Something broke.
Yeah, it couldn't get off, so they were stuck there.
Then they ate that guy, the guy that kidnapped with them.
Yeah, he died real quick.
Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah. So going back, so they come across the distress signal. They land. Paragus comes out and he explains that they've been stranded there for years, and then
he's hell older now.
Yeah, he's all gray, and this giant monster comes out and tries to eat him, and he calls for Broly, and Broly comes over and just smashes his ass.
Da, save Da. No, he didn't say that, but he just came and beat the shit out of that.
At least he wasn't screaming Kakarot the whole movie.
Yeah.
This time, he actually had some pretty good lines. And so they rescue him. They take him back to Frieza's ship. Frieza is, over fucking joyed that he now has Saiyans that he can manipulate to his cause. He's thinking, okay, finally, now I have a Super Saiyan of my own.
Yeah.
But turns out Broly hasn't gone to Super Saiyan yet. This time around.
Chile, a little backstory on Chile, the girl.
She was a thief beforehand.
Yeah,
right?
she was a thief, and then she was running away from the law, and
she joined up with the Frieza Force.
And her reasoning was that because no one wants to fuck with the Frieza Force, which is smart.
Yeah, it is.
And she wanted to, get Frieza something good because she wanted that money. And then so she found this, and she was like overjoyed. She was like, "Yes, they broke the scouter. That means they're really strong." So and they took him to Frieza, and then she tried to feed him. He tried to feed him that candy bar, and Broly was like, "What the fuck is that?"
He'd never seen it before.
Yeah, and so he's like a fucking primate. He was like, "Eat it," and he was like, he's looking at
Was it a candy bar or was it like a...
It was like a bar or something.
Yeah, I think it was more like a military ration type thing.
Yeah, okay.
It's
just
he never had anything other than whatever it is that they were eating there on the planet.
Mm-hmm. So so he's like, he took a bite of it. He's like,
and naturally, it was the best damn thing he ever had.
Yeah, and I like how Paragus is like, fuck Broly, dude, it's food, eat it. And he's fucking scarfed that shit down.
I mean, you think Paragus would have been happy to have some of that too after all those years?
Yeah, you eating fucking bugs and spiders and whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
So Frieza's like, oh, he's overjoyed because he's like, oh yes. And then I like how he was like, wow, did you hear what happened to your planet? You got blown up by a meteor. I like how he did that. And he was like, oh, he was like, yes, I heard. They informed me. I don't care. He's like, you don't care? It's like, yeah, me and King Vegeta, we ain't friends no more. And he's like, oh, good. You want your revenge, don't you? You know his son's alive.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and then, Then they had that scene. I don't know if it's part of the same scene, but after that, they gave him those new clothes and stuff. And
you see him in the mess hall.
Yeah, and then, Chile, and I looked up his name and I don't even fucking remember. Chile's friend, which is like an older guy who's been in the army Frieza's army for a while, he's like, hey, come sit over here. Broly has this fucking, skin tight fucking...
Yeah, he's got the,
Under
he doesn't
Armour
have
shit.
The armor on.
Yeah, fucking buff as fuck. Typical fucking guy.
And then, of course, he's still got the fur wrapped around him. And then the craziest fucking thing about that, it's up until they actually talk about it, when they go off afterwards, after Paragus goes to talk to Frieza again, and Broly goes with them, and they're in, it looks like like a waste area where broken armor and shit is.
Yeah, but hold on. There's one more part before that scene. So they're in the mess hall.
Well, there's the confrontation with that other Frieza soldier.
Yeah, there's another Frieza soldier, and he's like drunk off his ass. And
he's trying to get with Chile.
Hey, Chile, baby, yeah.
And then Broly just steps in the middle.
Yeah, because he sees that. Well, he doesn't know what's going on because he's been around people, but he knows that she doesn't like it, and he's being. So he tries to step up, and the guy's like, you want to mess with me, I'll kill you. And Broly's like, and he's going out, and he's like...
And he starts to lose it, and then Paragus uses his
and then,
shock collar.
They didn't mention it when because they told, Paragus told Frieza, like, oh yeah, he kind of loses control, and he's like, he's like, you brought something that can't be controlled on my ship? He's like, no, I got this remote. Small shock, I promise. Small shock.
Yeah, we saw we saw just how small that shock really was, and I'm like,
man, it was a long time, bro.
That was torture.
And then his face when he pulled it out, he's like, no, bro. He's like, no, and then and he's like, oh, God. It was like a clean 3 minutes of that shit.
Oh yeah, that was not small at all.
Yeah,
you had electricity literally emanating off of Broly's body at that point. Like, you call that fucking small?
And fucking Chila's like, stop, you're hurting him. He's like, no, he's alright. He needs it. Believe me, we'll all be dead.
And you wonder why your son has gone insane.
Yeah, so then, after Chile is telling him that's bad, someone comes in and tells him. Yeah,
tells him that Frieza wants to see him.
Yeah, and says, we just want you, not Broly. So Broly's like, and Trigger's like, stay, don't kill no one. And then he leaves, and Chila's like, look what I got. And she stole the remote, and then
she smashes it.
Yeah, she smashes it, and then now they go to the scene where it looks like what you said, like a repair place or something. Yeah. And then
they're sitting there, they're talking, and then you actually hear Broly talk for the first time.
And then this whole scene is more talking that Broly ever did in his one movie.
Oh yeah. No. In his two movies combined.
Even we'll count Bar Broly for that. That's still more dialogue.
Even in the second movie where he comes back, he's still screaming nothing but Kakarot. Yeah, the whole damn time.
And it was pretty funny.
And they're sitting there talking, and you come to find out that this fur is not a fur in the sense that you normally would think about it. It's an ear. Mm-hmm. The entire thing. He's wrapped it around his waist, tied it off. It's a whole freaking ear.
And it was on that planet he was on. There's these like they showed it in the meeting.
Yeah, these giant green fur monsters.
Yeah, so there's two different types of monsters on the planet. There's these bugs that look like spiders.
Yeah.
They eat the blood of these wolf-looking worms. Like, if you remember Star Wars, when that little thing came out of the planet that tried to eat the Millennium Falcon.
Think of it with green and with fur, and then
you
got it.
The face of a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he befriended one of them, and that was his only friend, and he loved it. And then fucking his dad said,
fucking Paragus.
Paragus came and fucking did he kill it or just tear the ear off?
He just shot the ear off.
He shot the ear off,
and it's like, and Broly mentioned that he was never the same again after that.
He said Paragus said friends are weak. Friend causes weakness, no friends.
Yeah.
So,
but he kept that ear and wrapped it around him.
Man, Chile tried to take him off. I think he said it. Yeah, Chile tried to take it off from earlier, and he
freaked out.
Chill.
He freaked out.
Yeah. And I like how he told the story because at first, like, he was like, ugh, what? And then after that, he was like,
yeah. I mean,
long ago.
I honestly, for the movie on a whole, I like how Broly was more than just this super strong brute.
Yeah, he was forced into all this. It wasn't
exactly.
He didn't want to. Like,
yeah, you actually felt sympathy for him this time, except last time, the reason he was the way he was because Goku was crying all the time.
And what I loved about it is that this movie wasn't about Goku. It wasn't about Vegeta. It wasn't about the Earth.
It was
Broly. Broly was the main character for the first time. I mean, yes, Goku was in it. Yes, Vegeta was in it. But for the first time, Broly was the main focus of this movie.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Like, Goku didn't come in and be like, oh, yeah, hey, man, yeah. No, it was just like...
we haven't seen anything like that
for a long time.
Since Gohan's fight with Cell.
Oh, yeah.
That was when the tone shifted. And I guess you could even say a little bit with Gohan's fight with Majin Buu. When you have Mystic Gohan or Ultimate Gohan or whatever you want to call it. Those were the first times where the fight actually shifted from the attention of Goku and Vegeta to someone else as a main character.
Yeah, that's what I really liked about it because I was a huge Broly fan even when he didn't talk. Not because of his character, but because how strong he was and how crazy he was. And now it was
something different.
Definitely. Yeah, and now I'm a bigger fan of Broly now because not only is he strong and crazy and was named by Toriyama the strongest person in the Dragon Ball universe now, well, energy wise, not combat wise, that's a whole different thing.
He does against Beerus.
And so it's just like now he's just like this guy with this amazing backstory. Like, he didn't want to do all this. He was forced on the planet. His dad said, "Oh, we're getting revenge."
And going back to the beginning of the movie when King Vegeta is actually trying to explain why he sent Broly away, he mentions that because that much power, the amount of power that he has could make him insane. Yeah, he said, and some people could argue that that kind of came true. But I also think my thing is I don't think it was because of how much power he had. I mean, yes, it could have been a factor, but I think it was the way his father treated him.
Yeah, and even after that whole story, going on that, even after that whole story he told, I forgot which one it was, Chile or the other guy. Fuck, can you look up his name, bro? I looked, I don't know what his name is, but Chile and the other guy, one of them said, it was like, "Oh, your dad kind of sucks, dude," and even Broly was like, "Don't talk about dad. That's my only dad." And then I was like, "Oh, wow." Like, even though he knew that his dad fucking shocked his ass and almost killed his only friend and told him he couldn't talk to him, he still defended his dad, He's like, "He's my dad. I can't help it. And don't talk bad about dad." And I liked how he had that, like, fucking primate kind of talk, like Tarzan.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then after that, then it went back to, like, Goku and them, and they were like, "Oh, Bulma knew where the last Dragon Ball was. It was in the ice." So they geared up. She took only Goku and Vegeta to there. And then the people who stole it were like two of his henchmen, right? Like two Frieza army people. And they were like the weakest power level, so they wouldn't be sent. And then they found the 7th Dragon Ball. And then they oop, that scared me. And then then he called Frieza and said that, "We got all 7." And Frieza's like, "Goody, I'm on my way." But then not until then, Goku and Vegeta come and they see him and they're like, "You're not going nowhere." And so Goku jumps on their ship and like doesn't let them go. And then as soon as that happens,
No, I thought Vegeta shot him down.
oh yeah, but Goku stood on the. Yeah, he jumped on the screen. Remember, because he was like,
Oh, okay.
he was like, "I'm not gonna let you go. That's our Dragon Ball." Like actually looking like he was mean. And then they try to fly off, and then Vegeta like sit down. Didn't kill him, but it just blew up the ship.
Yeah.
And it just crashed, and then that's when, Frieza came in.
Yeah, you get Frieza landing. He walks out all high and mighty with Paragus at his side, and
Yeah, and he's like, and I like how they sensed the power level. He's like, "Hey, that's not Frieza. Who else? He has someone else with him. That's pretty crazy."
yeah.
Yeah, and Vegeta's like, "Kakarot, those are Saiyans." He's like, "Saiyans."
Yeah.
Yeah, and
They see Broly for the first time, and they trade some witty.
it was pretty short. Yeah.
Frieza trades some witty banter with Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah. And another thing, how it was Broly's movie, like they didn't stay too much on that,
Yeah.
They're like it was witty, just like it was like small, like not even to mention what they said. Honestly, it was just witty banter, and he's like, go.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you just see Broly fly into his rage, and he flies right at him, and he engages Vegeta first.
Yeah, and Vegeta's like blocking it. He's loving it,
Yeah.
He's just like he's blocking all the hits, dealing it out.
It's like, is this the best you can do?
Yeah, and then he goes Super Saiyan, and then kicks it up a notch, and fucking Paragus is like, "What is that?" And he's like, Frieza's like, he's like, "What is that?" And Frieza's like, "Please tell me your boy knows Super Saiyan." He's like, "The legend?" He's like, "Oh shit." And it's so funny because Frieza's like, "Oh, this is over." And then so Broly does put up a little fight, It's not like
he puts up a big fight.
and that's what I loved about this movie. Like we're so used to Broly like doing that to them, which we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But like he just got his ass whooped. Like it
Yeah.
was bad. Like Broly came back every time for it, but And then what I told Josh is like, Vegeta was stunting on Broly. He was like, "All right, let's go." And he went into like the first time we ever see him as Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, one thing that we need to talk about, though, is when he transformed into Super Saiyan. What was with that green aura?
Oh, yeah.
The green color.
Yeah, the green.
I know everybody's talking about it, and I know you had me look at Geekdom's video about basically their explanation for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really Geekdom's explanation. It was his guest. I forget who it was.
Yeah, I forgot to.
But it's like, and I even told you my theory. I think
night. I like your theory better.
Yeah, that it's essentially it's very similar to the whole legendary Super Saiyan thing. It's very similar to what we call now the Super Saiyan Berserk.
Yeah.
And it's during that initial transformation, the user is on the border of losing control, and that's what Super Saiyan Berserk is. It is essentially Super Saiyan, but the user has no control over the power.
It's like he's focusing, bringing it down, and then it's like green, then it goes yellow. Like I like that explanation.
Yeah,
like, he's controlling it because that's what, like bringing it to like Kale, like she needed to control it, and then she became Super Saiyan. I mean, she still had green hair, but that was her thing.
Yeah.
But like with Vegeta, like he was powering up, and then he was like, it was green, yellow, controlled, bam. That's what I liked because I think they said that, I think Geekdom, his friend was saying like, oh, Vegeta was about to go berserk. I'm like, I don't think he was, or like he knew how to do it already. Yeah. I mean, he could, but like I'm just like, no.
Our theories are very similar in the whole, acknowledging the berserk mode aspect of it, but I think it's
a tough subject,
and it could have just been done for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah.
It could just be some complete bullshit reason why it was in there. But I feel like at this point, I just don't see them doing
anything for no reason.
Right. I think it's going to have some kind of reason. Like we're going to get maybe even just a small explanation later on.
Down the line.
And I know there was an announcement a couple days ago. I think it was Geekdom again, who got all excited about, I guess, an announcement of new Super episodes. And unfortunately, it turns out that that's not true.
Yeah.
Toei came back a couple days afterwards.
Yeah.
And apparently, it was a mistaken release. And and if you look at the wording of the announcement, it looks more like their original. It looks like something they would have done back when they were first launching Super.
Yeah, and like Toei didn't say it wasn't coming back. They said not yet.
Yeah, at the moment, they have no plans for future episodes.
We're all sure like it's coming back.
I mean, after the success, we know if they don't do any new episodes, we know we're going to get another movie at some point.
Yeah, and I feel like they need the anime to go hand in hand with the movie just for marketing reasons. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So like
you could literally sit there and have a big event like the Broly movie, and then you have the anime to pick up after it.
That's how I think it should be for now. It should be like
kind of like the way Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was doing for a while. You know, you'd have all these events that would lead up to the movie that was about to come out, and then of course you'd have they'd go on break for the movie. You'd have this big event that would happen in the movie, like Captain America, and then they would come back and you'd have the aftermath.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, so hold on, so we won't get back on the topic, but yeah, Vegeta,
Then he goes. We get to see him use the initial Super Saiyan God transformation for the first time.
Yeah. And then,
which was awesome. And
then at that point, Broly, like I said, it was a one-sided fight with Vegeta and Broly. But Broly would take a hit and come back. But this time, there was no coming back. Like every time Broly tried to bam, through the wall, underwater, fucking shot down, fucking beat the fuck up, and then he finally got him. He threw it like he hit him with this hard blow, and Broly was underwater, and Vegeta's like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill him. Just like, and even Frieza's like, well. Let's go, chauffeur. Turn the car around. and he's like, I gotta get my son. He's like, Broly, and he tries to do the electricity thing, and he doesn't have it, so he's like screaming for his fucking son. And Frieza's like, yeah, whatever. Start the car. and then the amazing thing happens is that Vegeta's charging up his spot. Even Goku's like, no, Vegeta, no, I didn't get my chance. Basically, he didn't say that, but he's like, don't do it, Vegeta. And then underwater, he's thinking, bro. I don't know what he's thinking, but Broly's underwater.
I forget. Does he go blue?
Vegeta
at that point?
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
No.
Okay.
So it's when he's underwater and Broly's like on the brink. He got that ass whooping, and then he like powers up and he goes into this form with yellow eyes. Which he comes out and Vegeta's like, what the hell? And he comes out. He comes dishing more to Vegeta. Then he goes back to Paragus, and Paragus is like...
Yeah, we find out that it's essentially he's channeling the power of the Great Apes or the Ozaru.
Yeah.
Without actually transforming, because obviously he doesn't have his tail anymore.
So he has the 10 times strength of that, plus the speed he already has.
Yeah.
Topped on the power he already had.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy.
So it's basically the closest you can get to the power of a Super Saiyan without actually going Super Saiyan.
Yeah, on base form, yeah. And that's a cool little knock that they might do a little transformation just for
So
Broly.
it's actually kind of similar to what Goku does in the Lord Slug movie.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Kaioken, but like he's flickering Super Saiyan, right?
Yeah. Well, no, he's not.
Well, not flickering. It's just
not,
like his hair's
It's not
up.
even Kaioken. It's his hair goes up in the Super Saiyan formation, and he gets like this red aura, but it's like an incomplete transformation. His eyes go completely white, and he basically, it's almost like the Berserk mode. And he loses control, and but eventually he runs out of power because he's not ready for the full transformation yet.
So Broly goes into this Uzara mode, yellow eyes. His hair. No, he's not up like Super Saiyan, but his hair's like spiked. More than usual. It's up.
Yeah.
And, he's beating the shit out of Vegeta this time. Vegeta's like, oh fuck, what happened here? He's like, he's getting strong. He's learning. Like, Vegeta did something, and he went, nope, bam. And then Vegeta's like, he's learning as he's fighting.
Yeah.
And then Goku's like, all right, my turn. And he's like, I think he hit Vegeta into something. Like I think he knocked him into a mountain or something.
Yeah.
And then Goku's like, oh, I guess it's my turn. So Goku comes up.
And we get to see that little part that we've seen in
the trailer. Yeah, and I said, I was like, after all this time, we finally see it. The first reveal of the new animation that they had for the Broly movie, the Super movie at the time.
Yeah.
And when Goku's jumping up and down, he's doing his little martial art warm up, and then he's like, "Let's go!" And then he goes to Broly. Does he go Super Saiyan?
Not right away.
No,
he does fight him a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Goku always starts
Yeah.
base form.
Mm-hmm.
But then he does go Super Saiyan. We don't see the green aura like we did with Vegeta.
He just goes Super Saiyan.
He just goes straight Super Saiyan.
And then he's still kind of outmatched. He's dealing blows, but it's not stopping.
Nah, yeah. And so he decides to up it to God automatically.
And what I liked about his God mode is that, like I told you, like in a Q&A with the voice actor Sean, he they asked him, "What do you like about what's your favorite transformations in Dragon Ball series?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I like how I like in this movie because in Super Saiyan God, he's like in the regular God form. I like how he said he's like in regular God form. He's more of like this force calm Jedi." I like how he described it. He's like calm and cool, and he has stuff he can do. And then when he goes blue, he's more of this not angry, but like straight attack. The coolness is gone. It's all attack. And I like it because that is how they are. Super Saiyan God is like that. He's calm, collected, and then when he goes blue, he's like more because he's in Super Saiyan, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, and then he does like a little Rasengan move. Like a lot of people were talking about it. It's like Rasengan from Naruto. He just like a ball and goes hits Broly, and then Broly comes back at him, and then he does this cool little Jedi thing where he freezes him with his aura or whatever he does.
He talks him, and he talks to Broly and actually snaps him out of his
for a second
berserk.
Yeah.
For a second, like I mean, it's not a full like come down to depower kind of thing. But
touched him. Like,
yeah,
it got to him.
And you see that because he reacts to it,
yeah.
And it was at that point that wasn't that when Frieza decided to kill Paragus?
No, it was shortly after that. He was in blue. Goku went blue at that point. Yeah, he went blue after that.
Right.
Yeah,
because
you're jumping ahead. Hold on. Before that, yeah, Goku freezes him in this like little aura thing, and like he's like, "Hey, I know you're not bad. I can tell." He's like, "I've seen a lot of bad guys," and then it showed like every villain he ever fucking fought, even the ones he didn't even fucking fight. They showed the androids in like First Form Cell, Perfect Cell, and then he was like Majin Boos and all of them. He's like, I fought a lot of bad people. You're not one of them. And that's what you say. It touched him because it like flickered.
He fought all three forms of Majin Buu.
Bro, he didn't fight Super Buu. He fought.
Yeah, he did.
He fought Super Buu?
Yeah. As Vegito.
Oh, that's Vegito. That don't count. But
it's still him.
It's Vegito. He fought him as Vegito. But back on topic, he told him, and that's when he said, like, if, like, you could see, like, he heard it, and he was like, but, like, the rage was taking, like, his little berserk was going off, and then,
Yeah.
And it goes back to what Vegeta said. He's learning as his fights. Goku just magically did this. They didn't tell much how he learned how to do it.
Yeah.
And then Broly's like, grrr, and then the red aura that's trapped him turns green, and it traps Goku in it. And Goku's like, oh, shit. And then that's when the ass whooping comes. That was my favorite part. Fucking Avengers fucking Hulk. He grabs him by the ankle and bam! Slams him on the eyes, grabs his head, drags him through the fucking eyes, fucking beats the shit out of him, slams him. There's a bunch of slams in that one. and then he goes, he slams him on the heart, and then you see Goku, like, his eyes go white because he's done. Like, and that's what I love when Goku gets his ass beat, dude. It just makes me so happy. and then my favorite part of the whole movie, I'll say it's my favorite part. Piccolo comes out of fucking nowhere, and I told my friends it just like this. Goku's like fucking half unconscious with Broly on the ground, and Piccolo's like, "Hey, I sense that ass whooping all the way over there. You okay? That doesn't feel like Frieza." And Goku's like half alive. He's like, "Piccolo?" "Yeah, dude, this guy's crazy. If I need you, I'll instant transmission to you." And Piccolo's like, "I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I would go help you. No, I don't think I can do that." So it's like, I don't think you come to me when you need me. And Piccolo, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll instant transmission to you if I need you." He's like, "All right, don't need me." And he's like, and then that's when Goku stands up and he does this awesome transformation Like, shout out to Sean, dude. He's just like screaming.
Oh, yeah.
And it's him. The green aura is around Goku.
A little bit, yeah.
It's not the hair, but it's his aura.
Yeah.
And at first I thought it was like after the part where Broly used his aura on him, but it's not. It's not way later, but it's later.
Yeah.
After he's getting his ass whooped by fucking Hulk and Loki, fucking slamming his ass, and he turns and then he goes, he's screaming, powering up. And Broly knows something's coming because he smiles and he's waiting. And then it flickers Ultra Instinct, which, like, I was like, yes.
Well, you think it flickered Ultra Instinct. We're not 100% sure.
I don't know what that is. If it's not Ultra Instinct, they need an explanation.
Now, one thing I do want to talk about real quick is about how it took him so long to transform into Super Saiyan Blue. And we talked about this before, and I know you gave your opinion. But just for, everybody else on here, do you think that the reason it took so long for him to transform into Super Saiyan Blue this time, do you think that was just for dramatic effect, or do you think it was actually because of the amount of damage he had taken from Broly?
I think it's from the damage. Because, can I tell him what I told you?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I told Josh, when he's powering up, he's screaming, he's Super Saiyan God, and it flickers, and he goes his eyes turn silver and his hair turns white, like Mastered Ultra Instinct, and it's for like a second, just like that, right? And then he's powering and screaming, and I told Josh, I feel like at that point, when Broly was beating his ass, that was like the quote-unquote limit Goku needs to be pushed for Ultra Instinct, like they always said. Yeah. And when he was powering up, he was damaged. He was unconscious. His eyes went white. His head hit the ice that fucking hard when Broly slammed him, And I said, for Ultra Instinct, this is my opinion, for Ultra Instinct and Goku, I feel like the transformations are a fork in the road. So at the point Goku's like at his limit, he's trying to power up, he's trying to go to blue so he could fight Broly, so he's going down the road, and then there's Ultra Instinct to the right, and then there's Super Saiyan Blue to the left, and I feel like he was flickering, he was stuck there, he was like, his body and conscience and mind was like, which way do I go, and that's why it flickered, but Goku was getting the stamina, I don't know how, but when you get stamina, but he was getting control, and then he went Super Saiyan Blue route. That's how I feel like it is now. And I think it's how it's going to be now. Because, we're going to see Mastered Ultra Instinct. That's in-game right there, That's what's going to be. And we're going to see it again sometime in the future. But that's how it's going to be. It's going to be a fork in the road. Did I get my ass beat to the point where I need to go down the right path to Ultra Instinct? Or did I get my ass beat where I can, focus and calmly collect myself and go blue? It's going to be like that. But that's to answer your question, I feel like it was because he took a lot of damage. Because, like when he went against Jiren in the Tournament Power, he couldn't even turn Super Saiyan. Mm-hmm. He was focusing in power, and then at the end, he did to blow up the stage,
Yeah.
Then he finally got control of it and went Super Saiyan Blue, and that was an amazing scene. That was probably 20 seconds, but it was the best.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, so, and then of course, he goes blue. They fight some more. He gets his ass kicked. Vegeta joins him, goes blue. They're fighting together. And then I think it was at that point that Frieza was like, "Oh crap! Okay, Broly's getting his ass kicked again."
Yeah, he's getting outhandled.
And he's like, "Wait a minute!"
And then
Goku, they transformed because of rage, and he's like.
And then he was like the little fucking bulb in his head, and it showed Goku. And I didn't say it, but it showed Krillin getting blown up, and they showed the whole scene with Goku and Super Saiyan. And he turned to look at Krillin. He's like, "For the better cause." Shot his ass with Death Beam to the chest.
And then he's like, "Broly!"
Before that part, Paragus was realizing what King Vegeta said was true.
Yeah.
That maybe he was right. Maybe he was going out of control and he couldn't control him. And then that's when it played out Frieza was like, goodbye.
Yeah.
And then the best part was the Oscar nominee goes to Frieza.
Broly, a stray blast killed your father.
Oh no, Broly, why? They killed your father.
And of course, Broly still had some respect for his father because it was his father. So naturally, it pissed him off.
Yeah, he did defend him, even though they said that he was a monster. And he was like, "That's my dad,"
Yeah,
so that's what happened, and then
it broke him. It broke that rage seal, and he went Super Saiyan.
Yeah, he went Super Saiyan. He was like, "Finally, it worked." And then that in that form, even in blue, like they were getting their ass whooped.
And now they started getting their asses handed to them again.
Mm-hmm. And then it was like no matter what they did, like it didn't stop them, didn't stun them.
So one thing that I can't remember though, did he go green hair before they escaped, or was that after they came back?
I think it was after.
I think it was after too.
Yeah,
so, he was beating their asses.
Yeah. And then for the people listening, I know because my friend brought this up when he watched the movie. He said that basically Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue were irrelevant and stupid because he couldn't even fight Broly. But at the end of the day, it's all still power levels. Even though we say we don't care about it, it's all about power. Like Super Saiyan God is basically like a God key thing for base form, and then that elevated is a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So in the event, it's the same thing.
You can almost think about it this way. Frieza is a prodigy to his race, as Broly is essentially a prodigy to the Saiyan race.
Yeah.
You know, he's that one character that can sit there and become stronger than a Super Saiyan without even having to go Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
and of course, we know that Goku and Vegeta have gotten stronger since their initial Super Saiyan transformations.
Yeah, but
because look at take a look back at Resurrection F. Mm-hmm. You had base form Goku going up against fourth form or final form Frieza. Yeah. Which he never was able to do the first time around. He in the Frieza saga back in Z, he willingly admitted, "Dude, I'm getting my ass handed to me.
Mm-hmm.
My only chance is to go, use the Spirit Bomb."
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, then what's the point of God forms?" I'm like, well, first of all, they need progression. That was like the only thing they haven't touched. You touched on the race and how they go Super Saiyan, and this is like another step up because now there's gods and the God key is a thing.
I really do think that they did kind of run through transformations a little too fast in Super.
Yeah.
Like, they could have dragged it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, yeah, so... Yeah, he went Super Saiyan, beating this, like... There's not much we can describe. He's just washing them at this point. And then, Goku's like... We gotta get out of here. And then I like how...
Well, they distracted him with Frieza.
Yeah, they brought him to you're up, Frieza. And Frieza's like, what the? And then Broly comes like, oh, shit.
And then Frieza starts getting his ass
kicked. And then he did the energy blast to the chest for Frieza, blew him, and he instant transmission out. And he fucking went to Piccolo. And Piccolo's like, God damn it, didn't I tell you not to come? Like, he didn't say that, but you know that.
Yeah, that's what he was thinking.
What in the multiverse? Like, what was that, dude? And he was like... Bro, that guy's crazy. Yeah. It was like...
And then they discuss...
the fusion.
The fusion technique, of course. And Vegeta, of course, he's initially resistant.
What?
But
the dance?
Here's the thing. At first, it's not... he's not unwilling to fuse just because of the fusion. He doesn't want to do the dance.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah.
I don't want to do that stupid
dance.
He's
like, hey, Kakarot, do we got those earrings? I don't want to dance, dude. I don't want to. No, we don't got those. We got to dance. And then I like how he's like, you mean don't tell me I have to do this move? Like the fucking pose. Like some fucking Sailor Moon pose. And he's like, no, you got to do it like this. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I like how he was like, no, before that, I think it was before that, he was like,
you got a little bit of a reference back to Z with the whole Goku practicing with Piccolo first to show Vegeta.
And I think before that, he was like, oh, I don't want to, he was like, I'm not going to do the dance. I'd rather have Broly fucking kill me. Yeah. And then Goku, I like how Goku's like, you know you have Bola and Bulma you love. Come on. And he's like, shut up, okay. And he's all blushing. And he's like, Goku's like, I caught you on your shit. Now get over here and dance with me. Yeah, so Piccolo there's a reference back. Piccolo and Goku do the little dance, and Vegeta's like, fuck. And then this whole time.
And just like in, what was it, Fusion Reborn. Mm-hmm. He messed up.
And in this whole time, they did the fusion, and his hands were out of place, and they became Veku, the fat one.
Oh, didn't they do the skinny one first?
No, it was fat. And then
was it fat? Okay.
Yeah, and this whole time, so that's 30 minutes gone, right? And then it flashed forward to Frieza, getting his ass beat, getting stomped out.
And then he gets thrown up against, the wall, and then he goes gold.
He's like, I'm tired of it, and he goes
like,
gold.
How dare you make me go all out?
Yeah, and then it goes back to fucking fusion, and
And he misses.
he's a skinny like one. He's like, dude, freaking Piccolo in his mouth. You're 60 degrees off. What are you doing? And then it goes back after this whole thing where Frieza's like, you made me go my Goldie, and then it. He's still getting his ass beat. But I will say that not a lot of people are talking about it. Frieza was getting fucked up, but he was alive. Like, I mean, I understand Goku and Vegeta were alive, but he was getting his ass beat. That shows how strong he's gotten since the Tournament of Power.
Definitely.
And then after the third try, so an hour and 30 minutes of Frieza getting his ass whooped.
No, it was just an hour.
30 minutes. Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. An hour.
So
an hour
after an hour, they finally got it right.
Yeah, and then you're like.
And that was something that we never saw the first time around with Gogeta.
Yeah, base form.
Base form. He
Yeah.
had black hair.
Yeah.
And then he
Why is he-
reminiscent in Gotenks trying to figure out his name.
Yeah, he was like, oh. So I wish I could have remembered the names they said. They were saying some dumb names, but it was pretty funny. He was like, so. And I like how they referenced Vegeta. It was like, so with Potara, we were Vegito. So what are we now? And Piccolo's like, dude, that guy. He's like, yeah, but I feel like we need a name so we could be cool. I was like, oh my god. And he was saying like a bunch of names, like, I don't know. He was just saying a bunch of different variations. He was like, Gogeta. He's like, all right, cool. Be gone. And then he instant transmission to there. And
he pops up in front of Frieza.
No, I forgot. Whis was actually like, he went after
That's
Whis.
right. There was a little bit of a fight between Broly and Whis.
Yeah, it wasn't even a fight. Whis was just like, oh, aren't you strong? And he was like dodging everything. Broly's like, what the fuck? Just like when fucking Hulk couldn't pick up Thor's hammer, he's like, what the fuck? If it was like that. But, he couldn't hit Whis, and then he teleported in front of Whis and Frieza. And he was like, oh, what is this? And that's when Frieza was like, who are you? And he was like, oh, yeah, dude, we Gogeta. This is a fusion dance. And he's like, you're cheating.
That's no fair. Or that's cheating.
Yeah, you're cheating.
That's cheating.
And then we did that little comment, which I mentioned a long time ago, that before Vegito became Super Vegito Blue, that when in Resurrection F, we said, you guys will do so much better if you work together. Exactly. And I was like, oh, they're going to fuse some point. And then they already did, but now they fused into Gogeta. And we said like, oh, you guys can work together. And so he goes after Broly and, his base form at first, right? Yeah, base form?
Yeah. I think it was his base. He uses his base form, and it's not. I mean, it's kind of like on par, but he realizes real quickly that he doesn't have the power to beat Broly in this form. So he goes Super Saiyan, and that's what pushes Broly to the green.
He goes Super Saiyan. He hits him a couple times and puts him in that hole, and then he goes.
Yeah, he goes to his green hair legendary.
I think you are right. I think it was because Goku was by himself. So something happened, and then Goku. They were in the lava. Remember Goku and he were in the lava, and then he came out and he went berserk. Then he got the green hair. Okay. Yeah, and then all that stuff happened. And then
see, I was right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I couldn't remember because I was looking at hair, bro.
Because I was thinking, I was like, Gogeta goes through his transformations way too fast for Broly to have.
Yeah. So they were fighting under lava.
Yeah. Because Goku. I mean it's super fast. You see Super Gogeta, and then you see Gogeta Blue.
Yeah, because
almost within 30 seconds.
And at this point in the movie, it's just like there's no dialogue. It's
oh yeah.
And then there's some Naruto running with Chidoris, and then
well, we get a few cuts. We get Chile, and we finally found out the character's name, Lemo or Lemo, however you want to pronounce it.
Lemo.
She comes up with they're watching the fight the whole time, and she sees that Broly's getting his ass kicked for real this time.
That they needed to do something.
Yeah, so she thinks of They decide to steal the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, so they're doing that. They're running to the ship, and
the Gogeta Blue Broly fight's still going on. They're trading blows, but Gogeta Blue's getting the best of Broly.
Yeah, this whole time, it's one sided. It's like at the beginning with Vegeta.
And it uses like a new form of Soul Punisher.
Yeah, and before it's like
instead of like the star form, it's an actual like ball of energy almost.
And like at the point. Gogeta, I feel like Super Gogeta was already at the point where it's like, oh yeah, Broly's done. And then he went Gogeta Blue.
Yeah.
And then he was even more done. Like he was hitting, and it even did a flashback to when Goku beat Broly in the original thing, because Gogeta went bam to his chest, and Broly was like, whoa!
Yeah.
And like no matter he was coming, Broly
not
was
a,
coming
not a
back.
full chest explosion.
Yeah,
like
but
in
it
the
was just
first
like it
one.
was just a to the gut, like
Right,
you've
yeah.
seen it. And at that point, Broly kept coming back, but no matter what, it was like Gogeta had it.
Yeah.
And so they punched each other.
But Gogeta quickly realized that the only way he was going to stop Broly is if he killed him.
Yeah, but before that point, they clashed fists and they warped reality. It wasn't just a cinematic thing.
Yeah.
That was warped reality. They were somewhere out in a dimension somewhere. Because even Gogeta's like, what the heck?
Maybe they crossed over into Universe 6 for a second.
I just think they're in between. Like they're like sort of like Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of thing. They're like in between something because if you remember, I don't know if you remember because
it looked very similar to what Janemba did to Otherworld.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what it was. It was like shapes. It was just a bunch of shapes. They were different colors. They were zoomed. That one was getting bigger, one was getting smaller. The hairs were colored. At one point, like Gogeta's hair was blue, was all white, and I was like, "What happened there?" And then they warped to like a different planet. It was or a different place. It was just like regular Earth. Like it was just like ground.
Yeah.
And then they came back, and then that's when he hit him with the Soul Punisher, and it hit him, and Broly still took it.
Oh yeah, but it did considerable.
It did damage, yeah, and he came out of it, and then that's when Gogeta. And then this part, which reminds me, so with Vegeta's personality was taken into effect with Vegeta, right? The cockiness and the arrogance and like the taunting, right, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess.
And then with Gogeta, it was like basically Goku, because like he went all like the stuff he did, like. With the running with the hands, like it was odd stuff Goku would do in a fight. And then, so that takes me back to the beginning where Goku told Vegeta, "Don't kill Broly," right? And then they hit him with the Soul Punisher, and Broly's just like they're like, "Oh fuck!" Like he survived it, but he's badly damaged, and they cocked the hand back, the calm, and Whis like, oh, and then they had Whis' face, like even you said in the theater, he looks evil. Whis like, oh, let's see what this comes out with. And this whole time, Limo and Chile are like trying to make a wish and everything, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And at that point, what I thought, I was like, I know they wanted to kill him, but when they shot the Kamehameha, even Vegeta looked kind of, like, not evil, but like, he even looked like, me, and then he shot the Kamehameha, and it shows Broly's face, and I feel like if Gogeta looked, he would have noticed that he was over, because he wasn't, he had his pupils back, it wasn't yellow, he was cooling down from it, because he even looked around like, you could tell in his face, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, like, he was just like, this thing's coming towards me, and then Chile and Limo made a wish. I wish Broly went back to the planet he came from, and then it saved his life, basically. It took him out of there, and even Gogeta stopped, and like that Kamehameha wave was a killer. Like that would have killed him.
Would have, yeah.
That was a big one. Like I never seen that was bad. And then
like that would have even killed Frieza had he been in front of him.
Anybody, like, well, not everybody, but yeah, it would have, yeah. And then they stopped, and he's still in blue, and he's just like, huh. He just like that, and he just smiles.
Yeah.
And then Frieza's like, what the fuck? Those are my Dragon Balls. And then they try to do it like, let's go. And they try to fly off, and Frieza like aims his finger, and Gogeta goes and grabs his finger, and he's like just looking at him, and he's like, Frieza's like, I'll be back. He just flew off, and I'm like, that's so good. That's all I know. Frieza's like gonna be around for a long time, because like it's just like comedy at this point. Like he was like, I'll be back, and he just flew off, and Gogeta let him go. And another thing that I'm pretty sure a lot of people were not relying on, Gogeta lasted the whole fusion.
Yeah.
He didn't.
And I wonder if they retconned that again to where now, regardless of the transformation, you last the full 30 minutes.
Well, now that you've seen the movie, I can spoil this for you. Supposedly, in an article with Toriyama or someone in the movie, Vegeta and Gogeta are the same strength.
No.
Yes, Gogeta and Vegeta are the same. Like, they'll always hype up Gogeta being better, But as it says, Gogeta and Vegeta are the same strength. which
Really?
makes no sense to me because the fusion.
Well, okay, I could kind of understand that now, just because of the fact that Goku outside of Ultra Instinct is probably somewhere very close to where Vegeta ended at the end of the Tournament of Power, because I mean we see Vegeta achieve that new blue form,
Evolution.
yeah, and so but you figure that Kaioken Blue is either close to that or on par.
Yeah, it's
or
even.
Goku learns to do something similar afterwards from his training with Vegeta.
Yeah,
And so now their power levels are about equal.
they Super Saiyan Blue Evolution and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken are even. They're there.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about this before because when we were originally theorizing that Vegeta would automatically be stronger than Gogeta simply because of the fact that in order to do the fusion dance, you have to be the same.
And they didn't
power.
mention that. They didn't mention that at all. Think about it.
Exactly. So either they retconned it again,
Yeah.
or
So is Gotenks stronger now too?
well, I would imagine he is, given that both Goten and Trunks, I'm sure, have gotten stronger over the years.
Yeah.
Or over the year since the end of the Majin Buu saga. But I'm sure at one point in time, Vegeta would have been hands down stronger than Gogeta because the Potara earrings don't require you to be the same power level as someone else. It just simply combines your two power levels together.
Stacks it, while the other one has
Whereas you have to be equal, and then those two power levels are combined in order to do the fusion dance.
So they're stronger at the point. I mean, you could pick which one you like better.
Which means, at the time that Trunks and Goten first did it, Gotenks was far weaker than his potential because we saw that Trunks had to actually lower his power level in order to match Goten's.
Yeah, so that happened. So Frieza ran off. Gogeta let him live.
Yeah.
And then, did you notice about the wish? There's only one wish.
Right. Yeah. So what happened there?
I did research on it. So.
Don't tell me Dende changed the dragon again.
Research on it. So I found this on Reddit. I'm not going to pull it up. I'm just going to briefly tell you. In Battle of Gods, they used one wish.
Right.
And Shenron left.
Right.
Second wish. That wish they were fighting over in the anime.
Right.
That was only the second wish. This wish was the third wish.
But I thought Shenron could only do 2 wishes.
I don't know.
I thought it was 2.
And if they did, why they only get 1? We don't know. But that's what people
because if you remember in Resurrection F, they used 2 wishes.
Yeah.
The first Sorbet uses the first wish to bring Frieza back to life, and then Chew, the dog, uses the second wish for 1,000,000 Zenny.
Yeah, and then the last one they brought there's 2 wishes. Yeah, you're right. But that's what they're theorizing. I have no clue, but it doesn't matter at this point. I seen that. I was like, why was there 1 wish? So I did research on it, and that's what people are saying that 1, 2, and then that was the third one.
Yeah, I think we'd have to rewatch the anime to actually find out for sure.
Yeah, but so they got away, and then was there anything else? Because I know what happens after that, but is there anything else after that? Gogeta stopped.
He stopped Frieza from destroying the escaping spaceship, and then they go. They go to Broly's planet to take care of him. With supplies.
We forgot the whole thing. Beerus is in this movie because we mentioned.
He's taking care of Bola the whole time.
And I liked how this is going back. I know we forgot,
but he was keeping tabs on the fight the whole time.
Yeah, he's watching it from that far, and it's funny because before, when Bulma took Goku and Vegeta to the ice cap. He's like, here, Bola, stay with Uncle Beerus. And he's like, I'm a god. I'm a destroyer.
God.
Not a babysitter. And I was like, welcome to Piccolo's life. And at the end, after the whole fight's over, fucking Beerus is there with the baby on his chest, rubbing her head, fucking sitting on the chair on the beach, looking out, and he's like, and he smiles because he's watching.
Well, he's got his eyes closed.
Yeah, and he smiles.
So he's sensing the whole fight.
He knows what happened the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny that, And then that was
definitely cute.
Yeah, so Chile and Limo go off. They're flying. Let me get close to this. So Limo and Chile are flying off, and they're going back to Broly's planet. And Limo's like, "So what are you gonna do now?" He was like, "Well, I was running away from the law. Now I'm pretty sure if I go back to Frieza Force, I'm a traitor. I think I'm gonna stay with Broly."
Yeah.
Smart choice. And Limo said the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, I did my time with Frieza Force. This is the most fun I had."
They set up a camp there in the cave. They cover up the ship.
Yeah. And then when Broly gets back to the planet, he's not even in his Super Saiyan form. He's back to base form. So what I was saying is kind of true. Like, he was coming out of it because he was knocked out of it. That Soul Punisher fucked him up.
Yeah. And then Goku shows up a little bit later,
transmission,
bringing him stuff from Capsule Corp.
Yeah. This is a house. This is where you'll sleep. This has food in it, running water, bathroom. Broly's like, what? And then even Limo and Chile are like, "Yeah, we don't like you. You're still our enemy." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't care. I just care about him. You guys can die." And basically, that's basically what he says. Like, this guy needs to be okay. And he was like, "You have running food, And he was like, "Oh, I'll come back,
No, Chile. She asked, what's the condition of all this stuff?
And he was like,
he said nothing. Just let me come back and spar with him every now and then.
He's like, "I think I could teach Broly something." And how to control his stuff.
To be honest, I was actually I knew it was going to happen, but I was a little disappointed to see it happen because, I mean, when I saw them change up the character of Broly to where he, basically they humanized him, I knew they were going to, set up this path for him to eventually become, one of the Z fighters or whatever you want to fucking call them now these days.
Yeah. Goku and Vegeta fighters. no one else fights.
I mean, he's gonna join the team and be one of the good guys.
He'll be a reoccurring villain like Frieza.
Or not even a reoccurring villain, just maybe a reoccurring character that helps him out every now and then.
And that's what
but essentially, they're turning him good, like they did with Vegeta and Beerus and.
Yeah, they leave it up to you. They leave it up to you because even Frieza said, as he goes back to his HQ and he's already blown up, taking over another planet. He's sitting in his throne and he goes, "Yeah, no." They said, "Oh, we found his ship. Limo and Chile are with Broly. Do you want us to go after him?" He's like, "No, let them control him for a while. Let him get control of his strength, basically. And when we need him, we'll call him back." And so that means, and then Goku comes, he's like, "Oh, I'll come back and spar. I can teach you a few things." Yeah. And then, so it goes 50-50. We'll see where it goes, but, it's all probably going to go towards, Goku, because Goku always changes somebody. Yeah. And I loved how Goku did that. And a lot of people, and I love how Goku did that. He came back. He only had one point in mind, but at the same time, he's like, in the beginning, he knew he was good.
Did it with Yamcha, he did it with Tien and Chiaotzu, he did it with Piccolo, he did it with...
The whole fucking Universe 7.
You can pretty much... Actually, you kind of can give the credit to Piccolo turning to the good side to Gohan. So Gohan actually, did something good there.
Yeah. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll come back and spar." And then Limo's like, "You don't even know if we'll be here when you come back." He's like, "Oh, I'll find you." He's like, "This guy right here. I just need him." And basically for instant transmission, it just says, "I'll come when I sense you. If you're close enough, I'll find you." And he was like, what was your name again? He was like, "Oh, my name's Goku." He was like, "But Broly, you can call me Kakarot." And then da-da-da-da, and then it just ends. Yeah. But it was an amazing movie.
It was.
It
truly was.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do next in the next movie. Or in whatever that comes next.
I really do honestly hope that they bring the anime back.
Yeah, me too. I mean, my animes aren't the same.
I mean, they're continuing the manga after the Tournament of Power.
Yeah,
now, from what we understand, they have no plans to do an adaptation of the Broly movie.
Supposedly, the manga takes place after the Broly movie.
Really?
That's what it says. I'm not fully confirmed. That's what it says because it's completely different. It's not Broly at all.
Well, maybe they're just trying to give the manga a chance to get some chapters out first.
Yeah, because that's what happened in the Namek saga. Because they caught up to the source material and they had to stall that fight that took 5 minutes or whatever for 90 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
But overall, this movie was great. I feel like it is one of the best. It is one of right now because of ratings. It is one of the best anime movies. It topped.
Oh yeah, one of the best anime movies ever.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it's not like an old school It had, well, the last two were the Dragon Ball Z movies, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F.
Wasn't it something like 86 million worldwide
I
so
think
far?
So far. It was, yeah.
And that's all before home sales?
Yeah, and then Australia just blew it up too right now.
Oh,
Australia just got it the other day.
Yeah, so it's still going.
Yeah, and
So everybody, if you hear that, if you want to go see the movie, fly to Australia.
yeah, right now tickets might be cheap. Buy your movie ticket, bundle it with the plane ticket. Come on. But movie was great. I don't really think it had any complaints for it. Like usually some people have complaints about it. I mean, I know a lot of people say the Dragon Ball minus thing, but I didn't really care about it. It did a good job on its own with that.
Oh.
I liked it. It had comedy, it had
I think
drama.
it did a better job explaining the Saiyans than we've ever really gotten.
Yeah, it had everything. It had comedy, it had drama, it had action, suspense.
Here's the thing, the whole movie had the right balance of those things.
It wasn't like tipped. Like it wasn't like action, drama, boring, drama, action, just. No, it was like it was balanced.
Most of the time with Dragon Ball content, it's when you're introducing a new saga, it's comedy, then it's
like
drama,
suspense,
drama,
the action.
and then it's nothing but action until the end of that saga.
And they did a really good job balancing all of it. Cause
Yeah.
I wasn't bored at all. There wasn't one point I'm like, oh, hurry up, come on, I want to see this. It wasn't. I
mean, okay, I did think the whole Dragon Ball minus part kind of dragged on a little bit. Because I noticed I was dozing a little bit.
I don't know. I feel like it needed that because they needed to explain a lot for a chapter and stuff for. Because remember when they first announced the Dragon Ball Super movie, it said it was going to be about the Saiyan race, and so like that was the top subject. I mean, it was about Broly, but it had to introduce and talk about a lot of stuff that we didn't get to really see. Like they were civilized. They were ruled by King Cold and Frieza, but they had the community, they had the king. There were people who weren't soldiers; they were like regular policemen, meat people. Yeah. So they had to go a lot. I really think.
I agree with you on that. I do think that the whole thing was necessary. I think it dragged on just a little too much.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like they cut out that fight with Bardock.
Yeah.
Because
the fight would have been nice, but
yeah,
because there would have been some action at that point.
Yeah.
There was just too much of the movie without action.
Now my thing is like Goten and Trunks were in this movie barely. Like they only talked.
Yeah, we see them on a video.
Yeah, and then Piccolo was in this movie just to show the fusion dance because they didn't have a reason for them to know it. Basically,
and then nobody else was in the movie.
No one else. They didn't mention. We didn't mention. Oh, Gohan's on vacation. Gohan sucks.
Didn't even mention him.
Tien's rebuilding. They didn't mention anybody. And you know what I liked? And I mentioned to you at the theater. That I'm surprised they didn't say, oh, this is like the Universe 6 girl Kale. And then I watched a review. I think it was Team 4 Stars review where they said that it was beautiful because they didn't mention it because it would have took away from Broly himself. Which I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't think of it that way. So it was just Broly. It wasn't Universe 7 Kale. It was Broly.
Yeah. So
I thought, okay, that makes sense. That's a really good way of saying it. I guess because I was like, I just want to shout out to Kefla, I guess. I don't know. but it was really good. And if you guys haven't seen it, you guys should somehow. I'm not going to tell you watch it legally. Go buy the movie. There you go. Buy the Blu-ray.
Well, I mean, if you're not afraid to watch it in Japanese, there's currently a post on YouTube.
Yeah, well, it's everywhere.
I mean, it's a total, video straight from the theater.
My friend freaking recorded the movie on his Snapchat and story, so, I was like, you're retarded.
Yeah, there's people that are going to do that.
Yeah. So, this was a really high note, it did a lot for anime and did a lot for the show. I'm pretty sure the show's going to come back. I just can't wait to see what they do next. Like, are they going to keep doing villains like that, or are they going to make their own content, like not bring another character back, or?
Well, I kind of, I mean, that's kind of the whole reason why we did the canon series.
That's why that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I definitely would love to see some other characters. Like, I think the one I've liked the most so far was our theory on what they could do with the whole Frieza Cooler story.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, any villain would come back after all that.
And maybe you could even throw BoJack in there too in the same movie.
Yeah. And then out of everybody, out of all the villains and movies from Dragon Ball Z, I feel like Cooler has the highest chance to come back as a.
Definitely. Just because it would you could then have the movie focus on Frieza and Cooler.
Yeah, more
not
stuff.
Just
Yeah, because if you bring Frieza back, you have to at least talk about his race, because
Yeah.
About.
And I think that's definitely the origin story we should get next. Is or at least backstory we should get next. And who knows? Maybe they'll finally give Frieza's race an actual name.
Instead of calling it Frieza's race or Frieza. Yeah. But yeah, so if you haven't seen it, please try to watch it. Buy the movie. Support the movie.
Yeah.
It's really good. And if you guys are listening to this and, you got spoiled, I'm sorry. We already told you.
Yeah. Hey, we warned you at the top of the episode.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I think did we talk about everything?
I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah. Big question. Do you think Gogeta will come back again anytime soon?
Not anytime soon.
I don't think so either.
But I mean, I'm not gonna say he'll never come back.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's what it was with Vegito. Because they even hinted like maybe we should do Vegito. Not in this movie, but like in I think the Tournament of Power. A lot of people wanted to see Vegito again. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
He did his time. And I think Gogeta had his time, especially his time was a fucking hour, 40-something minutes.
I honestly would like to see extended versions of the superhero episodes.
Yeah.
With an English dub.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, to see a potential Vegito Gogeta fight, that would be amazing.
Yeah, they're gonna make Gogeta.
we finally would have the answer. Who's better?
Mm-hmm. No, we won't. It'll be on a cliffhanger.
They'll clap. It would be the thing that ends the chapter.
They'll have this epic fight. It'll be like, oh, Vegeta's winning. Oh no, Vegeta's winning. And then they'll be like, and then they'll cut and be like, man, that was a good fight, wasn't it? Like, fuck, fuck. I'm pretty sure that's what they'll do. Toriyama.
Oh yeah, they would. They would. I could see that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's basically our review. I mean, yeah, we offered our opinions on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about a lot. Yeah, it was a great movie.
I know most people normally give you like a brief overview of what it is they're going to be talking about, and then they give their opinions. But we like to, just kind of throw it all out there, and that's what I think what makes our show a little bit different than other people.
Yeah,
we're not afraid to go off on tangents. I mean, we're sitting here at an hour and a half on our recording already.
Yeah. Whatever we go off on subject has something to bring back to the movie. It's not just like random. Like, we're not talking about like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is coming on Monday. Oh, wait, let's go back to Broly. Like, it's not like that. Like,
Yeah, and that reference will actually be a little relevant because this episode will be, it'll probably most likely come out on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I know you guys got an episode earlier on Saturday, but that's one that we've had stocked for a while, and I just needed to get it up there. But yeah, we're recording it today, which is Saturday. It should be out to tomorrow, which will be Sunday. So when you're hearing it, it'll be today.
The time you are watching this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One thing we do like to do is we do like to record several episodes. That way, if something happens on a weekend and we can't get together and record, we have something for you guys.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, so I think we covered just about everything we could about that one. I mean, like we've said several times already, it was a great movie. It was well done, well balanced. Maybe dragged on a little bit here and there with certain things, but nothing's perfect. Mm-mm. And you wouldn't want it. Well, I mean, I guess you would want it, but whatever. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification
Follow
button.
our Twitter and Instagram. Putting good stuff on there.
Yes, the Twitter and Instagram have been up for the Twitter's been up for almost 2 weeks and running, and then Instagram's been up for about a week.
Yeah, I'm putting a lot of cool stuff up there.
Yeah, we're posting a lot. We're still posting on Facebook. We've still got our email address, nerdsmakesense@yahoo.com. You can, send us your ideas. You can send us comments, whatever. Also, on the video that went up earlier this weekend, the Pokemon video. So we talked about asking for help with the show in making it better and stuff. So let us know if you guys are interested. So until the next one, We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.